Welcome to episode 3 of what podcast? Oh, that's right. It's Bench Racing. You knew what it was when you quoted it. With Brian Danforth, your host, me, and Troy DeCaire, my co-host, and we got a special guest here with us today, Mr. John Inman. We'll get to him in just a minute. But big weekend at Showtime. They had the COVID 119 super late model race won by our good buddy Stephen Nassy. And then they had the BG Southern Sprint Car Shootout Series.
They also had those, are they super mini late models?
Super mini late models, but they're really just mod minis. I don't know who won that one, though. I missed that. We did shout out to our buddy Colton Bettis.
I know Colton Bettis ran 5th. My buddy Garrett ran 2nd.
Garrett Larson.
Yeah.
And Colton Bettis with a solid 5th at 10 years old. So
I can't even see over the dash.
Yeah.
He has no idea where he's going.
He's sitting on a booster seat.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, good weekend at Showtime. And then our buddy John here won the, like I said, the BG Southern Sprint Car Series 44K Platinum.
Yeah, I heard that.
It was a 44-lap sprint car race in the Florida Sprint Car Series. How about that? We'll get to that in just a minute. Again, like we mentioned in the first show, our buddies from Ragin' Bull Racing Engines have came on board. First, it was just 2 shows. And they like the feedback so much, now they're on for 4 shows. So they will be on, as of now, to episode 5. So get with our good friends Brian and Brandon Bull at Ragin' Bull Racing Engines for all your kart engine needs. And he also wanted us to tell them that this week, that we make sure we tell the folks at home that they also do, like, you know, small engines, like mini bikes, motorbikes, small engine repair.
They better be getting
like
me something for Circle C. I need something tuned up.
So you can outrun the kids because you're about 125 pounds heavy.
No, I'm just old.
Yeah. So, our good friends at Ragin' Bull Racing Engines. So, for sure. Make sure you give those guys a call. Longtime friends of ours, good people, know what they're doing up there with those go-kart motors. So, without further ado.
Oh, hang on.
Okay.
Let me top my drink off.
Okay.
Before we get started here. I got my bottle down here somewhere. It's in here. It's down here somewhere. Oh, here it is. We're good.
No, they'll let them see that logo.
No, we're good.
They don't pay us.
No, go ahead.
So without further ado, let's bring in our buddy John Inman, the winner of the race at Showtime Speedway this weekend. So, John,
I'll just put this back now.
Okay, yeah, just go put it back under the counter.
You guys didn't tell me I could bring props.
Well, I didn't even know he had those.
You ain't got those props, player. Oh, my bad. I started too soon.
Oh, God.
Oh, man, I'm a player. I like it.
So, John, tell us, just kind of go over the race for us this weekend. Started from, where'd you start from? From front row? Or?
Front row from the pole.
Okay.
Man, I tell you what, Jason Reynolds, or Dylan drives it, right?
Yeah, Dylan Reynolds.
Laid down fast time. Kind of watched the board a little bit. Thought Troy was going to be up there. When Troy didn't go as quick as we thought, we kind of sandbagged a little bit. Think we'd pull the invert, and hey, no invert, but still, I'm really lucky.
Hey,
I got the pole.
Since we're honest on this show, I don't want this to be taken wrong, but I thought the same thing. I was like, okay, if I sit on the pole, they're going to make me turn it back.
For sure.
I was like, but if I qualify 8th, they're going to start straight up. I was like, if I qualify 4th, 5th, I'm probably going to start 4th or 5th. Like, there's no way they can mess me out of this. But then they threw a whole wrench in there, and they made us all redraw. So, like, Dylan could have started on the pole, and then he drew first and drew a 10. I was all like, well, either way, at this point, I'm starting better than I have all year. So this is great news.
Right.
But it was crazy, that whole – that was the most tense moment of the night for me, was the whole watching everybody draw. And I was like, where are we going to start?
Yeah, so, John, I was there at the race. Started on the pole. You started 4th. Mm-hmm. So, kind of a caution-filled race. I felt like every time y'all got going, 8 or 10 lap run, there's somebody parked again. And so just kind of walk us through that, your restarts, things like that.
Yeah, just that first caution flew. I mean, man, it was early, lap 8, I think. And it was like, all right, it's game time, TD on the outside pole, me on the pole. Where do I go? What do I do?
And so that's what he did. He started walking us through the restarts.
That's
he started
No, I wasn't walking. I was crawling.
Yeah, you would have had to speed up to a walk. Yeah. Like, I literally don't think I could get that. And just to clear this too, by the way, my frustrations was not about the race. Great, congratulations. I want that to be known. Like,
Appreciate it.
With the racing part, it worked out. Like, when we started crossing, like, I did it too soon and like, I got beat on the racing part. I was mad prior to that because the restarts were, I was sitting here like, man, I don't know if I'm going to make it through turn one, because what he couldn't feel is like he got to fire. So his row got to go. Dude, they're hitting me. They're doing stuff. And I'm all like, I don't want to get run over. You know what I mean? So like, that's where my frustrations came in. And I was like, dude, we're going to tear some race cars up before I even get to race.
Well, there was a bunch of guys that did end up jumping, end up getting sent to the rear.
Dude, I watched the video, and there was one jump that was like, come on, man. Dude, he passed 3 rows. I was like, hey, I don't know where he was going. I don't know what he had in mind. But the restarts, and I know that's what Yoho loves. He feeds off those, where it looks like we're at Z-Max Dragway and there's 4 cars. Just and we're all, because, dude, these things fuel injected. They chug down different. They don't all throttle up the same. They don't. Like, sometimes you can jump on the gas and it goes, and then you're like, uh-oh, then whoop, now you're out there and you're blowing your tires. And I've prided myself, starts and restarts. Like, that's been my, like, where I try to go hunting.
For sure.
And that's why I really feel like this should be Delaware. Because then if the leader can dictate however he wants, but on the restarts, every restart I lost a position.
Right.
And it would take me 3 laps to get by that guy. And it was just like chaos deal. But good for you, John.
So the restarts, there's I would say a disagreement here on the restarts.
There's a 100% disagreement. I'll say it.
Okay. So, like I said, it was like 8 to 10 lap runs. Then, had some slow restarts, had some people, not you, but in rows behind y'all on the front, because y'all were on the front row for every restart.
I was more worried about the people behind us.
Yeah.
It was, for me, I was like, oh, crap. I was waiting for Yoho to put me to the back for anything.
Yeah.
So,
and that's part of the game you got to play with Yoho is, I'm doubling up with Troy DeCaire. If he messes up, he's going to the back. This will be real easy on me now.
Dude, the last time I got put to the back there, I actually lost a position, and they still called me for jumping. I was like, what the hell is that about?
Yeah. So
Yo-Yo loves them starts.
So the restarts seemed like Troy would kind of catch you, and like he'd get to you or within a couple car lengths, because you would kind of walk away. Maybe like a half a straightaway.
About 5-6 car lengths on each start.
Yeah, and then Troy would kind of start getting there, and then the caution would come out. But I'll say this: that was the most exciting asphalt sprint car race I've ever seen, because I mean I've been to, and I should say like the final 5 laps. I've been to some of them. Obviously not as many as y'all have, but that y'all on the last couple of laps was. Like that
was racing. We got after it.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
y'all got after
my
it.
beef wasn't none of that.
Like, when he drove it off into one that one time, like, I didn't think he was going to stop. Like, I thought y'all were going to be in the grandstand. So let's, y'all two kind of hash out, John lead it off, kind of hash out, like, the last 5 laps, like, your mindset. And I kind of want to give myself and the people at home what each one of y'all was thinking, like, the last 5 laps. Because, I mean, you're looking at the scoreboard, the 36 is there,
sure.
But you don't know how close he is. Right, because y'all no spotters, no mirrors.
He had somebody.
No. Here's the thing: that bare metal wing we got talked about on Facebook. There's a mirror part of that. Troy's got a beautiful orange car, so I could see him roll to the outside or where he was rolling.
That's a fact.
Based off the wing.
I used to have a polished wing that I could literally see guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you're racing off the wing there, no spotter, but I mean it's technically a rearview mirror. I mean it's so polished.
And they have lighting on the inside there, so. You see shadows. Like if you go into turn 1 and all of a sudden there's 3 shadows, I mean, your car casts off a couple, but all of a sudden if it doubles, you can usually tell somebody's there.
Yeah. So what was your game plan to try to hold him off?
Really surprisingly held him off. I mean, Troy's been the man to beat, and it's pure luck. And then, I knew Troy went to the outside, last 5 laps, boom, he's there, he's on the outside. I kind of move up to take that lane, but I don't want to crash us. So, I'm like, all right, I'm here. He's got the run on the outside. I kind of move up just a little bit. He's not there. The door's open on the bottom. He's got to go. I mean, I tried it at the non-wing race there a couple weeks ago or a month or two ago. It didn't work. Troy made it work. But the thing was I had watched Troy throughout the day, and, man, his car was awesome. Little snug, tight center off.
I was tight.
Yeah, so
that's why I jumped to the outside, because I couldn't roll him on the outside. So I had to get there for you to see me, hoping you would move up, and that's what did happen. But I timed it. I got us in that crisscross pattern, and what I was hoping was we would crisscross to the point where I could be firing the last one, and then I was just going to stop and then give him the option, run me over or run second. And lap traffic didn't time out in my favor, like I said, and that's just how, it worked out good. But, for the fans, I'm glad that the responses I've seen, everybody talking about the race, and I hate that some of the antics and some of the things after foreshadowed that, because I'm not mad about the race.
Because it was a great race, and I felt like that kind of got lost in the shuffle with all the stuff going on on Facebook.
Oh, yeah. Well, Facebook. Well, let me make this clear on Facebook. Some of those cats need to have a breathalyzer before they can open up their phone. Like, they should have to blow into it, and if it doesn't read to a certain deal, it should. I didn't say no names. I was warned. I didn't say not one name.
I don't touch any names. I got to be real careful with what I say.
So let's get into. All right, so for those of you that did see the race, they kind of threw some dive bombs, what you would call a slider, back and forth the last couple of laps. John come out on top. Troy was second. Dylan Reynolds,
he was third.
Third, right? Dylan Reynolds third.
Was LJ or Sport fourth? Who was fourth?
Sport was Sport Allen was fourth, and then LJ was fifth. LJ Grimm was fifth. So now let's get to post race because. Like I said, a lot of this kind of got lost in the shuffle because of all the things that went on post-race. It was on pay-per-view on low-budget TV. So post-race, you get out of the car on the front stretch.
Mm-hmm. Well, I stopped on front stretch. I didn't know I wasn't supposed to. I guess I wasn't listening.
Yeah, that's where it started. Troy stops where he wasn't supposed to.
Well, I didn't know because I was more worried about not stopping somewhere and getting DQ'd.
For sure. I've been there.
So I was like, if I stop here, then we're good.
You're going to be all right.
So you get out, you stand on the wing, and you say what?
I give the old Ric Flair woo, which is the normal celebration, and then it's repeated twice with Troy who.
So he says Troy who. Do you hear that when he says it?
Actually, I was walking towards his car to say good job. Because with the flick off and all the other shit that went on.
Oh, yeah.
No,
skip that.
I forgot about that. We got to get to that.
No, that was because I thought I'd seen some hand gestures on the backstretch towards some folks that were with me. So then I was like, pull up, and I was like, well,
okay. So for those who missed it, Troy pulled up beside John after the race and told him he was number one.
For sure.
Now, did you tell Troy's crew on the backstretch that they were number one?
No, that's where my son was, and I was pulling up there to say woo to my son. I celebrate a little too much. I like to win.
Celebrating's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not mad about that.
So why did you tell John he was number one?
Well,
because I am. Right? Come on now. Tell me.
You were Saturday night.
Exactly.
And the way, and to quote the great Dave Steele, box scores nuts.
What?
I said box scores.
Box scores.
So when he looks at the paper, black and white, he was number one on that given night. But he would have also told me, he's like, you didn't beat me. You finished ahead of me. Like, because if I started on the pole and won, like it was like 4 years before I got to count a win against him as far as he was concerned.
Yeah.
Because I had to pass him. But
right.
No, he and also he had me a little fired up on them starts and restarts. So I was like, there was some built up there. Oh, actually, yeah. That was explain to me this, Inman.
Uh-huh.
We're going
oh boy.
So we're going around, like, we got the yo-yo box, right? And which is on the front straightaway under the flagman. But when we're coming to get one to go, halfway down the backstretch, Inman's moving me up. We go through 3 and 4. And
we're high.
And I'm like, now see, this makes complete sense if the green is now because you can get a run, but we don't start until over there. So what the hell are we doing? And I'm like, oh, he's trying to get like, shit on my tires or do whatever. But I was like, there was part of me that was like, well, I could just put my left front on his Nerf bar and let off the gas, and he can roll over this thing real quick and just let it happen. I'm not going to tell you who taught me that, but I just didn't get it, and I didn't like – I'm sure he had a great plan that you were like, oh, I'm going to get in his head, I'm going to do this and do that. I was just like, I just want to get through this first corner without getting disqualified. It had nothing to do with you, anybody else. But I was just sitting here like, I hated that part of the race was taken from me because of that. I was pissed.
Because you pride yourself on restarts.
Yeah, just racing in general.
But see, John knows that, and John took that away from you.
For sure.
No, I mean, that just –
yeah.
Yo-Yo got the assist.
Well, for sure. I mean –
if there was a box score,
I'm not a sprint car driver. I'm learning. I'm succeeding in my own eyes. But we've talked before the show off air. I don't know what I am. I came from a dirt modified, and then I jumped in a go-kart, did this, did that. So these sprint car double files, Southern Sprint Car Outlaws, whatever we're called, that's all I know. I don't know single file, flag down, Delaware. I don't know anything else. So I'm good at the restart game that we have now.
Yeah, I literally don't know how you get your car to idle down that low because mine was like chugging.
Not a plug, but my motor guy that's the guy that Gresham Power Sports. I mean, man, that he had that thing lit Saturday night.
Yeah, so,
now let me go back to this.
Smoke.
Let me go back to this. So you were walking to shake his hand.
I was walking because you know what? Like when Daniel Miller won his first one, I was the first guy there. Both times he won. I went down there because I just feel like that's what you should do. And I'm not. I'm a very bad sport. For sure. But I'm not. Yeah, I'm not good at, like, we could be playing ping pong and I won't talk to you for 30 minutes. Like, I'm just that way. And I mean, that's how, like, me and my brother were growing up. It was just a tough deal. So, like, but mad or not, like, I just always feel like winning a sprint car race, I don't care if they let you start a lap ahead, not on the pole. I don't care it's hard. If like winning one, if you win two, like there's guys who race for 20 years that would love to win one.
Yeah. Never thought I would win one. When Dave was still here and everything, I got in sprint car racing because it was more affordable to me. I never dreamed in a million years that I'd run with Troy DeCaire, Dave Steele, anybody like that. I was a fifth place guy. Yeah,
no, I mean, but they're hard to win.
For sure.
And I hear the things, people like, oh, we got into the out-dollaring thing, outtake last week. But, like people say, it wasn't always like that for me. I drove Skeeter's car. I rode around for the first season in a starting park car that I had to pay a guy enough fuel to let me run the whole thing. And then Stan Butler picked me up and everything. We went through that whole progression. So, like, to get to this now, it's like, it's kind of nice. But to play on that also, like, when I hear guys, because when I was with the 68, for instance, like, we didn't have what the 91 had. But when we were beating them, like, I liked it. But when we won, I wasn't always like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Like, but Dave Steele's got this. They got Todd and Lenny. They got blah, blah. I never said that. So I was like, when I heard you say it, I was like, started looking at that 59X. Started looking. And Tech, I walked away for a minute, which I got accused of saying some bad words. I wasn't even around. I left. I came back, and I was looking. I'm like, that's a new rear end. Newish.
14. It's got a date code on it.
You got a sweet steering box in there.
It does have a nice
steering box. Looks pretty light. I was like, it's
been crashed 2 or 3 times.
So that they've all been crashed. That's fine. I was looking at them. I was like, what's that 59X lacking? And he's out there acting like he's out there running a jalopy. I'm like, it's a damn nice race car.
It's all right. I mean, I'd like to build a new one with all, like, the carbon fiber stuff, chrome plated, titanium.
Oh, well, yeah, but I'm talking about when you start talking about, like,
performance.
Blah, blah. Yeah, I didn't see nothing in the performance area that you was lacking. We know you ain't lacking a motor. You got a pretty good motor.
It's okay. It's not a big all-pro headed motor like you guys.
Well, I didn't say it was a new Smyrna motor, and actually, I think the motor.
I think it helped Saturday night.
Absolutely. I think we were talking about that. We have this little motor. Well, it's not a little motor, but it's less horsepower than this one that we have down at United Speed World that's coming back. And I'm like, well, if I'd had that motor, I probably could have fired off better because this motor we actually called John Force because when I got to do a stop and go, I light him up. Like there's no way. It just got a hinge on it.
Now, okay, so was there any words exchanged between the two of y'all on the front stretch?
No.
Tech.
No, I never even talked to him.
Okay. So let's get to the social media side of things, because
I did hear him say something in Tech I didn't like.
What'd you say in Tech, John?
Now in Tech, on the racetrack, I got flicked off.
Yeah, I didn't. He asked if I said anything.
Okay.
Sign language is not.
Okay, so let's review. So
this guy's reading Braille.
Troy told John he was number 1 on the racetrack.
That was between me. That was intimate.
John, but
between me and him.
TV
Separate.
cameras caught it.
Yeah, I seen that.
Yeah,
shit.
everybody got it.
So excuse me, I just burped.
That's not the first time that's happened to me either.
So John gets out on the front stretch, gives the old Ric Flair, and said Troy who twice. Now then y'all are in Tech, and John
He didn't
says,
respond to me. He was walking towards the car and turned around. He did not respond. I call him Troy D with a long D in my phone. I was expecting some comeback because he had already flicked me off.
Well,
come on, you got to come back at that.
I'm older now. And I've been harping on things like not acting out in front of because
nobody was there.
The cameras were there.
Well, you already flicked me off on camera.
Yeah, well, I didn't know that was on camera. I did it on the back, but hey, that was veteran move. I did it on the back stretch and shout out to Low Budget TV.
Speaking of that, they can watch a race, right? We can still watch a race.
Oh yeah,
Low Budget TV?
If we could figure out how to do any of this shit, we could be having clips going while we're here and showing stuff. But you guys get on Low Budget TV, and I watched the race, and actually, that was a few things when I watched the race. That's what blew me away. Before we get off on the other part, is Yo-Yo missed one because really, when Dylan Reynolds took the lead on that start they called back, he didn't jump. Joey did. The 55, he spun the tires. I spun the 50. We were both out of the box when the 55 went by. He actually got us because of the way these deals were working. But that's how our start system, it actually gives benefit to the guy. Third.
Right.
Third probably has the most advantage.
Yeah, third has the most advantage.
But if Joey didn't jump from, wherever he came from, if he didn't do that, they don't call it start back. The 55 got us both.
Right.
So, I swear. When I saw it, I didn't believe it. I was like, shit.
Okay, so get to Tech. Nobody cares about it. Get to Tech.
Hey,
what happened?
I want to plug Dylan.
I'm just kidding. No, good job, Dylan.
Yeah,
ran a good race.
No, hey, you'll see. We were both out of the box. He got us.
So what happened in Tech?
Shit, I was like 5th.
So we get to Tech. I get there late. I'm on the front straightaway. He's with his dad. I turned down to follow him down there.
Yeah, I went to the trailer.
I'm headed towards the trailer to get a water or something, and his dad kind of got in the way. And you got to be careful because me and Troy from go-kart and whatever, we got a little pass, but I'm trying to walk past his dad, and we exchange words. I'm trying to walk.
I don't know that
we've
ever had an issue though.
No, not really. We just jostle each other.
I just and I enjoy it.
Yeah, we do too.
Some people in your circle, some people in my circle
don't like it.
No, they get their feelings hurt, and they get emotional, and that's kind of what I pride myself on is getting people emotional.
Right.
And they think I'm emotional, which makes it worse because then I feel like my jokes didn't work.
Right.
They think I lost.
So I learned a lot go-karting though. Bring that up. Like the crossovers, that came from go-karting.
There's no way.
I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah, you pulled some cross.
Hang on. I'm going to slide y'all real quick. Hang the hell on. What happened with Big Terry?
Oh, all right. So Big Terry,
he's got to say that shit about the go-karts.
I got to put that plug in there. Hey, I want to ride go-karts again, man. I got to keep my go-kart guys happy.
I want to ride go-karts too.
Yeah, heck yeah.
I see a good tire guy.
It ain't me.
We got one. He knows people. So me and Big Terry, we exchange words. I'm trying to go to the trailer. Troy walks back up at this point. The BG guy's there.
This is where it gets good.
This is where it gets good because the BG guy's asking for a picture. Troy's mad, understandable, or whatever.
But I hadn't said nothing. I just heard him ask for a picture.
Yeah. And what did you tell him?
What did you tell him?
You said I ain't taking no picture.
No, you want to know why I said that?
Why'd you say it?
Because what'd you say? He goes, all I ever hear about's Troy. I won the race. Me. Blah, blah, blah. And I was
no. The guy was thinking I was Troy.
Oh, well, I don't know.
And I'm like, hey, I'm not Troy. I'm like, Troy who? That's Troy DeCaire over there. I'm John Inman.
He must have
People don't even know me. That's the problem.
Well, and that's not my fault. I'm just saying.
All
I heard was that. And I was like, you know what? Like, things go full circle. Because I can't tell you how many times I would win a race and they'd ask me about Dave Steele.
For sure.
And then I'd win a race and all that, man. Oh, and I'm like, I'm so sick of hearing about that. I run second to this guy 87,000 times. This is my one time. I don't want to hear about it. But like I would always have to be like, yeah. And I can't tell you how many times I had to take a picture, stand next to him, and like he's the one who taught me how. I always had to stand to the right because he always knew I ran second.
You try to teach me that. Like I don't understand it. I just run second.
He's like, you stand here, Nums. And he would do that. You stand right here, but you get in close. But like, hey, he was real quiet when he ran second. And I was like, and that's what made me feel good though. And that's the same type of, because I think the last 2 or 3 races you run second, right? So like it was starting
two in a row, yeah.
Yeah, so it was starting a little deal there. Like he always was here. So and hell, sometimes you can even be 5th. Yeah. But like, so
no, then I don't have to stand up there. I get to go to the
I hate that they make the top 3 take a picture together.
I know because
I'm like, why I got to stand here and watch him win? Like I don't. I already seen. Like I want to go to the trailer. So I'm with you. But I heard that. I heard what you said to him, and I was just like, I don't need no damn picture. Like I don't want it for what?
Because that's the guy that's putting the money in the series.
But it was that damn Inman. Yeah. He popped off, and I was like,
but we moved past it.
So
I took the picture with him, so I got my picture taken.
Yeah. It's
okay. So let's move on to this. So we go back to the trailer, whatever, and then I get a phone call, and somebody that has something to do with this show says, "You need to look at Facebook." So I look at Facebook.
Hey, and we would have been trending if we can do that on Facebook.
Yeah. If you could trend on Facebook, Bench Racing was trending. Shout out to all the supporters. Shout out to all the haters.
Oh, I love it.
Because, that means you're watching, baby.
Hey.
Yeah.
I mean?
So I get told to look at Facebook, and it is going nuts.
Dude,
and let's just be honest, though. Y'all two were still going back and forth up until almost till you got here. Then y'all said on Facebook y'all were going to save it for the show.
Well,
so what was all? What the hell were y'all bickering back and forth about on Facebook? Like what
people
started
were just
it
saying and I know shit. John was in my middle school. Okay,
yeah,
we went to Middleton Magnet together. I'm talking back in the day, and I didn't. You didn't have anything to do with racing back then, right?
No. I didn't start racing until I could.
So I don't even know how we knew each other.
Kimberly Sukash. That was a teacher of ours. Yeah. Hey, speaking of, we're both sitting on bar stools. She used to tell me you used to bar stool dance or something in her class.
Oh, God damn. That is, dude, that is really old. Now, that is, I mean, we can't get off on that tangent, but I used to do a lot of shit in Miss Sukash's class. But anyways, so I've known him a long time, and I've always enjoyed, because it was kind of like how Dave enjoyed messing with me, like, because he knew what to do, what to say. He could get me pissed off at church. Like, and I would be ready to scrap with that guy. And then, like, when nobody's around, like, he would, like, make it better. And then, but with Inman, every time, because we didn't have too much direct competition. We didn't have.
No, you were always ahead of me.
I'm like a year or two older.
Yeah, gone, and go-karts, you were gone.
Yeah. So, like, but it was just always, I don't know, he always had something slick to say, and I was like, well, I had something slick to say, but we just went back and forth. I thought it was great. And I've known Amanda and the Brazil family my whole life, and I love your little kid, and him and my boy play together. Well, it's all good. So,
but see, some people got real personal on Facebook, and it started getting
called a case of hurt philioma.
Yeah, everybody had the hurt philioma on Facebook. So
that's Dave Steele quote.
Yeah. So it kind of went from just kind of shit talking to then your sister's jumping in on it. His wife's jumping in on it.
Well, see, I knew, like, I kept taking jabs on Facebook because I knew we were going to have you.
Tonight.
Well, and I thought it would build for.
Oh, yeah, and let's go back to that.
I thought it would build for good content.
I texted John when I pulled out of Showtime at 1:30. I texted John. I said, dude, come on the show.
Yeah. Oh, we knew this was coming.
Well, yeah, but no, so I thought I was building it, and then, like, it turned into, I'm a crybaby bitch and all this. And I was like, but I mean,
who said that? Nobody from my camp.
Oh, no. But there was people going, oh, he's whining because he lost. So I'm like, dude, you lose more than you win. I just happen to be on a pretty good little streak right now. Like, I know more than anybody. It ain't always like this. Like, and it doesn't matter if you win 10 in a row. That 10th in a row, that could be your last win. And like this is not easy. And when you look at our field of cars, even though we only had 18, we're used to have 27, 30.
Right.
there is 10 of them, 12 of them about 10 to 12 that I feel like if I went over there on Wednesday and started working on it, I could take it to the track and win with it.
For sure.
There's some
there's some cars we could work on and they'd be
now
fast.
I know we roll in with a bigger trailer and we got like the lights
Fancy.
and we have a little bit more of the we got a buffet of like sandwiches and shit.
You do offer it to us though, so
Well,
we
that's
get
what
to
I'm
eat.
saying.
So
Well,
I don't go without.
I ain't gonna lie, I had me about 11 of them.
But I'm just saying we don't have no alcohol in our pits, so let me tell you that.
No, we don't have
But
that.
after we bring that
or
up.
they didn't.
Hey, but anyways, so there is I understand because I used to come in a 24-foot trailer with George and look over there at the Featherlight trailer with a 91 and be like, damn it. And like polish on the wheels don't win shit, but it just looks it's a part of the Ric Flair,
Hey,
the intimidation
factor.
And you're like, I mean, looking good is part of it. So I mean,
You look good in that shirt.
hey, thank you.
Oh, shout out for your shirt too. I don't know if y'all can see that in the camera.
The year I was
We all
born.
wore throwback shirts and didn't know it.
We didn't know it. Yeah,
I got the old Manzi
I got
on.
the Rusty Wallace Ramada Inn. He's got, what is that, John?
That's a 1987 Knoxville Nationals shirt for the World of Outlaws.
Woo!
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah,
But so anyways, like the social media thing got way out of hand. That's why I tried to put it into it because like when I saw your wife post, I was like because I feel bad because like me and you can get into it, but Amanda, she's the sweetest girl.
Yeah, we got to leave the families out of it. And we take care of each other's kids at the track.
Yeah,
We're still friends.
I mean, she wants like you guys live like he lives like literally 3. If there was a beef, we could ash it out in walking
could you
distance.
come to our neck of the woods next time we got to do this?
Yeah, like
Because we both drove a long way.
But either way, and I don't want this to be also like, oh, they got on TV and they started kissing each other's ass. That's not the truth. But I mean, at the racetrack, the way I look at it, because my car owner pays me to drive, like, and ultimately there is a risk, and I'm emotional. If it was for no money and there was nobody watching, I would probably act the same. I mean, probably worse. I would probably act worse. Like, I'm not fun to deal with when I lose. Like, and I'm not. So, and anybody who is good, they're like, oh, he's a whiner, he's this or that. And, trust me, it pains me. But I was going to walk over to shake your hand. I shake Danny Miller's hand, whoever's hand. It's like, it didn't feel good. I know it's the right thing to do, but like at that moment, you don't want to do the right thing. You're like, you want to be like, F that guy and roll on.
So just to review here, you were gonna shake his hand until you heard Troy and then it was F John Inman.
Ding, 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 ding.
Then I was hitting the chip, and it was then we had a little bit of that's why I walked to go get that water. So that's why when I got accused of saying bad words, I was like, I wasn't there to say no bad words. I would have.
Yeah,
there was some shit I wanted to say, but none of it, and that. For me, none of it's personal. Like, it's just, I don't care who it is. Like, I feel like, Sammy Swindell said one time when he interviewed me at the Chili Bowl, he's like, well, I feel like there's 288 cars. He's like, well, I feel like there's 287 people here, including my son, trying to take my money. Now, he's like, you don't see Burger King going over talking to McDonald's. And, like, I agree. I don't really, I feel the same way. After the checker, we can sit there and talk and do whatever, or a day or two has passed, but, I mean, I'm hard to deal with. My crew had a hard time dealing with me when I went back to the trailer because I don't throw a temper tantrum, but I'm just like, I just need about 15 minutes because your adrenaline's up, you're hot, you're doing what you just tried your best. Like, whenever you see me race, I feel like the same way. Like, that's the best I can do. Like, that's the best I had Saturday night was second. That's the best I could do, and I'm not ashamed of it.
You could have won if you would have parked it in one of them and put down your flag.
I told him today. I said, no.
Boom, I'm here. I'm Troy DeCaire. There was no way I was moving you out of the way.
I told you today.
I know.
If you'd have parked it.
I know, but I was sitting there trying to do like.
Wait, was Troy DeCaire trying to be nice?
No, I was trying to do it early enough. I thought, he
was trying to grow fans.
I was giving him a lane, and then I messed up because I had him again when we caught Carly, and then I checked up, and we come into 3 and 4, and I was here, and then I saw Laverne waving the checkered. I thought we were coming to the white because I was going to fire one. I told you I was going to fire one more. I was going to stop and give him the option. This can go one of two ways. You can be an asshole or, go around me some way. And when he threw
I was going through you at that point.
Well, yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying is like that's the same thing because me and Mickey had a race
For
similar
sure,
to
for
that.
sure.
Yeah.
So like, and then I saw a checkered, and I was like, that was poor race management on me because when I saw 5 to go, that's when I decided because I was riding. I mean, I might have been a little faster throughout the race, but
Sure.
I knew I didn't have the car to drive away, and I was like, okay, there could be a yellow with 3 to. I was like, I want as much tire as I can
at the end.
when I can just put it all
Right.
out there. Can't take it home with you.
Right.
And then I ran the race wrong at the end. So it is what it is. So, like I said, I had no beef with the race. That was a great race.
Yeah.
I don't think we touched each other. And when you brought up on Facebook about me popping you in the ass, I popped you in the ass because on that start, I got lifted because we were so caked up, and I popped you in the ass, and I went like this. I'm like, pick it up. Like, game's over now. They're going to wreck us. Like, let's go. So that's why I bent my damn nose wing. My car was
Tore my
pissed.
rear bumper up.
My car,
Again.
Well, hey, you can pay with that with those winnings.
Shoot,
All right.
I got bills to pay, man. I can't pay for race winnings with race
Got kids.
I got kids. Boy, I got new shoes.
No, but
All right, well, that's kind of that. I'm glad we got that out because I definitely there was a lot of people that
I'm
thought
a little bit upset
y'all why
because I feel like everybody expected us to get on here and like turn it into a celebrity death match.
like y'all go to
We
fisticuffs right here.
Yeah.
He don't want these hands.
Oh,
Ooh, Troy's got hands.
Nah, I ain't
Oh.
tough at all. You kidding me?
Hey, he's not tough. He's got, what steering wheel you got in that thing?
MPI.
I got one now, too. I'll tell you what.
Oh yeah, that little bitty team over there hurting, scratching.
Wow. I got to use one. I got to use one.
Oh, just scratching. I don't even know how we make it to the track. We had to shake a can to get here. Guy's got an MPI wheel. Dude, I looked at his Facebook. Dude's got non-wing sprint car, TQ midget. And he had modified. I'm like, sitting there, I'm like, that little team's got like 7 divisions under that one
Hey,
roof.
we're a little team.
Hey,
we're a little team. We buy cars and we sell cars. We move on, man. We flip and swap.
That's the problem with our team is we got so many.
You collect them.
We got
You got 2-car garage.
we gotta
You
use-
collecting them in.
We didn't even have a shop though until a couple 6 months ago.
Yeah.
We had a whole shitload of cars and we were just sticking them in people's houses. We had nowhere to put them.
yeah. All right, John. We'll let you get out of here. We got to finish this thing off. So I appreciate you coming on. Congrats on the win. That was a hell of a race.
Hang on, but so wait, next race. I saw you say you're going into hiding.
Going into hiding.
No, you're not going to come out because now you got to start 12th.
I don't know. That's the thing is I got to start 12th no matter when I come back. That's the thing. That's a new series rule.
Is it?
Yeah, that's
well,
why.
that's good. 'Cause
That's why I didn't play it right.
Well, that's good because you'll be starting 12th, so I'll be starting 11th. So
It'll be a good race.
I see.
That's from the back.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So
And this is going to be June 27th at Showtime
See,
Speedway.
I play
so.
for keeps.
You play
So
for keeps?
I'm
Do you
saying,
get the next one?
I'm saying we can make a side bet on that from the 11th and 12th if you want.
We could get that going on the show. Think you
Hey.
pay more money than the purse?
We could.
I tell you what.
You can
So
hold it.
are we going to try to put something down? Are y'all trying to have like a little bounty here?
Hey,
I ain't got no money. I'm a small team. Y'all get the money on the show, and we'll take it.
I'll protect the show. If I win, the show keeps the money.
Okay.
But-
All right, we're going to
but-
put something together.
But he don't want that stress from 12th. He knows the business.
No, I want that stress. I attempted it. And you got me last year for the Frank Riddle Memorial, but I got you the year before. So we're 1 for 1 on that one.
So here's what we're
I
going to
can't
do.
remember
We're going
that
to see
far
if we're going to see if we can put a couple quarters together and make $1.
$1.
And we'll put something together for the June 27th race at Showtime.
Hell,
we'll
I'll
have,
start 14th.
we'll have a little bit of a bounty.
Let's both go to the rear.
Okay, so who is
Yo, love it.
I'm in.
it? Who
I'm in.
y'all in?
Yeah.
All right, so it's whoever finishes higher gets the money.
For sure.
What about mechanical issues?
No, it don't matter. That's part of the.
I got a
part of
small
racing.
team. You
That's
know
part of
my
racing.
stuff's going to fail one day.
Oh, I see. He's already backing up.
On the
That's
lead
part
lap.
of it. Hey, you better get them wrenches.
I can turn wrenches. I can't spend the dollars to freshen my motors up and stuff.
Oh, so what? How many races you got on that motor?
Ooh, that motor ain't been refreshed since 2013.
How many races you got on it?
At least 40.
40.
40. At Knoxville. I bought it used from a dirt team.
Okay. Well, I guess it's just poor John.
Or John again. Dang.
Bought it from a guy who runs Knoxville. He's really roughing it over there. I mean, I've seen it fire. He's got some smokes. Hey, if he don't want that, hey, I completely.
We're gonna
hey,
put something
I'll take it.
together.
Let's take it.
not
Let's take it.
everybody.
No,
Not
I ain't
everybody
gonna
can
back
come
down.
from 12.
All right, so y'all are both going to the rear.
Yeah.
Well, 11th and 12th. That's where we start,
Let's do it.
right?
Let's do it.
We got to.
Yo-ho, they're going to 11th and 12th. We're going to put
That's where we
something
start
together.
anyway.
Yeah, I think the next one's at Showtime. So and we already know he can pretty much make any rules he wants.
Yeah. So we're going to put something together. It's going to be a bounty. Whoever finishes higher is going to get it. John, we appreciate you coming on. Like I said, congrats on the win. I'm glad y'all got to get on here and kind of hash this out. I forgot. I got something for you, Troy.
Oh, boy.
Here's Troy. Congrats.
That was nicer than the one I got.
On your second place finish this week.
Nothing wrong with silver.
So we're going to let John get out of here, and myself and Troy, second place DeCaire, we're going to take it to commercial break. We'll be right back in just a few minutes.
Oh, look, he hits. Oh, he missed my shit. That's why I was 30 minutes late.
Well, we're back from a commercial break.
That's our first one.
And if you want to spend a little money, that commercial break could be you. And it doesn't cost that much. You want to know how much? Just reach out to us.
I mean, it costs how much you're willing to pay.
Yeah, whatever you're willing to
That's
pay.
exactly how much it costs.
I mean, you buy us 2 double cheeseburgers, we might let you on. Maybe a little bit more than that. But anyways, maybe 2 double cheeseburgers a show or something. But anyways, yeah, if you that commercial break could be you. So if you want to be
Who
in
is
that
it brought
spot,
to you by? Now I'm reeling you back in. Get your shit together.
Oh, no. You don't need to reel me back in.
All right, go ahead.
So in the beginning of the show, I forgot to give you the phone number for Raging Bull Racing Engines. So for all your kart engine needs, small engine needs, please give our good friends Brian and Brandon Bull a call at Raging Bull Racing Engines. For a good time, call 863-944-4214. Now, I fixed my plug from the first one, but now we're in segment 2. And guess who segment 2 is brought to you by?
I don't know.
Yates Motorsports.
What do they got going on?
Yates Motorsports has a couple of Outlaw 4 cars for sale right now.
Probably for like $10 million. Those things are badass.
They are badass. And Brandon wins a lot. And Brittany, I think they ran Hendry County Saturday night, and they ran 1 too. I think Brandon won. Brittany was second.
They should call those super mini late model.
Yeah.
That's a late model.
Yeah, for sure. So
That son of a bitch hikes up.
yeah, oh yeah, no, they're definitely nice pieces. So
I drove a full blown late model slower than Brandon Yates Outlaw 4s.
drives Outlaw 4.
Yeah.
So Yates Motorsports jumped on board and is sponsoring segment 2 here at the show. So we want to thank those guys for coming on and helping us out. Brandon is going back. He's going to do a little double duty. He's going to go-kart racing, and he's going to keep running his Outlaw 4.
Hopefully he's got a tire guy.
So they actually
We can do that shit all day.
We actually have they actually have both Outlaw 4s for sale right now, because they're trying to move up to a bigger class, a higher class on the dirt car side of things next year. So if you're looking for a good Outlaw 4, it's a class that I started in on dirt. It's a hell of a class. It's a fun class. You can get up on the wheel and drive those things. Like Troy said, they hike up like lake models. If you're looking for one, get with John Yates on Facebook. Send John Yates a message or find John Yates' number from somebody and give him a call. They haven't put the prices on Facebook, but I do know that they are giving the price out for people that are inquiring about the car. So if you're interested in Outlaw 4, get with John Yates and get you an Outlaw 4, get you racing over at East Bay.
So, well, now what we do, we just got done with John Inman.
We got done with John Inman, and by the way,
that was a blast.
By the way,
I had a great time rehashing his win. I mean, let me tell you, it was bad enough I lived it once. I'm so glad we got to live it twice.
So we want to thank John once again for coming on the show. That's going to go down in history. John Inman was the first in-house guest. He was the first guest, period.
I know. I was already mad that when he said, "Oh, I don't drink," because when I asked him what he wants to drink, I was actually going to I was going to sponsor that.
Yeah.
He said he don't drink. He's like, you know that. So I had to get on his damn Wikipedia page and find out that he don't drink. So now he can put on his Wikipedia page that he was the first ever. Yeah, I mean, probably I'm gonna guess there's 100 people that saw that today. His fan base just tripled. You're welcome.
Well, see, the thing is you never know where bench racing is going to go. So bench racing could end up being, and that could go on the back of his hero card. That John Inman.
It's definitely hero card worthy. I'm gonna have to get with Tyler Sontag. I may help with the next John Inman hero card and put out and make sure he puts there on bench. So that way I feel like I still won.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna try to finish out this show and talk a little bit about shocks.
Well, hey, before we do that though,
okay.
I do want to touch on the whole, before we get, because I can talk all day about shocks.
Because you're a shock guy.
Yeah, we're going to get into that. But, I do want to say, from the last show, if you watch that, he's got buttons. He has no idea we should be pressing.
I hit that with my pen. I'm sorry.
Well, good for you. So, but Racing with no fans, I think that went off without a hitch. I know they've done it everywhere else, but, shout out to Low Budget. Shout out to
Robert Yoho, as much as you hate to say it.
Yeah, to Yo-Yo and Low Budget. Good field of late models, good field of super mini late models, good field of sprint cars.
Yeah.
It was great, and I feel like the racing was there, and hopefully the people enjoyed it. Hopefully they buy it. Hopefully they tune in. And I'm not sure how much longer we have to race without fans, but if we do, hopefully you guys do still support it, because we need everything. If nobody watches it, it didn't happen. It won't happen. It can't continue to happen. So make sure everyone who tunes into this, everyone who tuned into Low Budget, you guys are the reason any of this exists, and we appreciate you.
Right. And like we said last week, Troy touched on it. Don't be a dumbass and try to do Facebook Live with it. But
yeah, the pirating thing, and you know what? Everybody's guilty of it.
Yeah.
But it.
But get some guys. Get 3, 4, 5 guys over to the house.
Throw a party.
Somebody pays for the pay-per-view. Somebody buys the food. Somebody buys the beer. Everybody just chip in. And I know quite a few people that did that on Saturday night.
Yeah, we've had. I've been a part of Chili Bowl watch parties, Knoxville watch parties.
I did it last year with Little 500.
Yeah, no, and all that stuff is great. I just, I know that they're cracking down. I've seen a couple of negative things where people are like, "Oh, it's too expensive." It was $19. I actually paid for it after the race because I wanted to rewatch the race.
You want to watch yourself run second again?
I did. I wanted. Well, running second's good because you find out what you did wrong. And I can promise you, we're gonna get to work. So shout out to John Inman for fucking lighting the fire. Ooh, well, I guess we dropped the F-bomb around here.
Dropping bombs.
Anyways, but I saw people complaining about that, but I'm like, man, $19 is way cheaper than going to the track yourself. And actually, if that side of the deal takes off, it may be something that is available to the fans, even when the fans are allowed back. So the people who can't make it, and it'll help boost regional racing. Regional racing feeds national racing. And it's all good. So please support that, and please do it the right way.
Yeah, it all goes back to grassroots, and we always want fans at the track. That's number one. We want people in the grandstands, but if you can't make it, pay-per-view is always a great way to still be a part of the race and still keep up with everything that's going on.
Yeah, and we touched on the whole Facebook thing. Facebook lit up after because there was a bunch of people who watched that race. Yeah. I'm not sure the numbers and everything, but it was a good race, and I believe. These tracks that we have here in Florida, Showtime, 417, Citrus, New Smyrna, Pensacola,
Auburndale.
Auburn. They all produce good racing. That's what I can say because I've been fortunate enough to run across the country, and we have some really, really good short tracks here, including the dirt, Ocala, East Bay, Volusia. Yeah. We have some marquee venues that we're privy to, and it's important that we help keep them open.
Right. Yeah, so please, if you're going to do pay-per-view, do it the right way. I know there's going to be some more racing this weekend going on without fans. I'm not sure on the pay-per-view yet. Make sure you check your local track's Facebook page and all their social media to see if they're going to have it.
We don't race for another 3 or 4 weeks, and I'll be tuning in.
Oh, yeah. I'm quite sure that
all we got to do is get this damn iRacing off TV because I suck at iRacing. I want to see real racing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of how you get.
I got my ass whipped last night in a street stock so bad I was embarrassed to look at my kid.
I got Snapchats from you. I got Snapchats from people they're like, "Oh, look at your boy. He's in the B main."
I was like, "Yeah." I had to run the last chance, and I think I came home a solid 17th. But whatever. Either way.
So
I'm so sick of friggin' iRacing kids. Y'all need to get spanking.
Y'all need to get a life. Is what you need to do.
Yeah, go outside.
Yeah, go outside and
Work
play in
on
the
a
dirt.
car. Yeah.
So let's talk about our topic for segment 2 here, brought to you by Yates Motorsports. Shocks. You're a shock guy.
It's everything.
Shocks is everything.
I mean,
why is shocks everything?
Well, there's only 4 things that touches the ground, and that's tires. So, and for a lot of our last
tire dope.
Tires were everything. That's why tire dope is a big deal. But see, if you are in any form of real racing, tire dope isn't a big deal.
So dirt race is not real racing.
No, there's a way to get around tire dope. You get your shit hooked up, you ain't got a tire dope.
But you're still going to get outran with somebody that's...
Sometimes. I'm telling you, more often than not, you
can wrench on it all week and still get outran by somebody at tire dopes.
You can. But you know what? When that guy who is not involved in tire dope, or like when he gets in a situation where he knows he can't get away with tire dope, he's out to lunch on the guys who wrench on their
You never
shit.
know when they're checking.
Hey, I can tell you this. The top 2 from Saturday night are the only 2 guys who build their own shocks. So you tell me how important it is. I seen guys in that super late model race, big ass stickers on there from their shock guy, everything. There's only 4 things that touch the ground, and that's tires. But there's only 4 things on that race car that control those things, and that's tires. That's shocks. And shocks dictate everything. I mean, in sprint car racing, predominantly, in my mind, chassis outside of down tubes, the same from the 70s. The motors, the same. It's a small block Chevy. I mean, injections changed, a few little things. Tire compounds have changed. But for the most part, the chemical makeup, like the build of a sprint car is the same from the 70s. The only thing that's really evolved beyond, like that is totally different than what they used to run, because they ran like struts, is shocks. So, I mean, you can control a lot with shocks. I mean, the shock guys get paid a lot on the cup level. I mean, the full body late model. I guarantee if you ask Nasty right now how important his shocks were Saturday night, he'll be all over it. But you got some guys that think that's not true.
I'm not saying I don't think it's true. I'm just saying. So if you spend, for example, I'm not going to ask you.
I don't think it's dictated on money either.
I'm not going to ask you on your
prices.
prices.
That's why I got involved in it, because I ain't got no money.
Listen, okay, I'm not going to ask you your prices. On average, what does it cost to get a set of 4 shocks built?
Well, see, that depends on who you call. But that's why I took it upon myself to start building them, because each year, like I said, I focused on rear ends, I focused on front ends, I focused on anti-dive, I focused on aero, on a bunch of different things. And then when I finally got to shocks, because I thought shocks were a mystery. I thought, like, just like everybody else thinks they're like this sealed magic, like somebody's like, they hand you a shock and like, this is the answer. Shocks they're emotional. They're built. The only thing on the car that I feel like is built to, you can't build a motor for the driver, but you can build shocks based on that driver. Because I can't build a set of shocks for a guy who's 2 feet on the gas, hammer down, smoking them up, or a guy who is super finesse, floated. I have to know the driver when I build the shocks. So I look at it. I mean, a shock, you can buy a Penske shock, $600-700 a piece for like the most expensive thing they got. But a shim stack, you're looking at $3. O-rings to the whole thing, you're looking at $6.
Okay, so
enough fluid for each one, you're looking at right around $3 or $4 for fluid. So I mean, you're in like $15 to $20 per shock to rebuild it. But people are charging $75, $100, $150 a shock to rebuild it, and that's just all intellectual properties. Or you can just do what I did. Like I was like, Dave Steele, teach me, and he flipped me a manual, which was basically like a shocks for dummies thing. But it turns out I thought it was like the Bible.
Right.
I still have it at my house. I took it home, and then the next year at PRI, I saw it sitting on the damn table at the Penske shock booth. Turns out anybody can do that. You can Google how to build shocks, and it's right there. But I thought when Dave gave it to me, it was the Holy Grail.
Yeah.
But you can open it up. It's got a diagram. It shows you. And if you can read an air gauge, like if you know that 4 is less than 5, you can build a shock. But everybody fears what they don't know. They look at a shock. They look at it like it's. If you go in a corner and you're looking for something, like, hey, and if it feels like it's up here and it's a 5 valve, well, shit, make it a 4 valve and then go back out and then to develop a feel. And
explain to the folks at home what the hell you just said.
A valve?
4 valve, 5 valve.
Okay, so they come up with these numbers. There's poundages, and I won't get into what poundages equal each one, but it's 0, 1, 2, 3, all the way to like 12, 15, something like that. And there's on each side because a shot goes in and a shot comes out. So it's compression and it's rebound. 0 is the lightest. We'll call 10 the highest. And you have it on each side. So if it's a 5-5, which is a standard shot, which means it's 5 in, 5 out. If you want it stiffer in, you go 6 in, 5 out. And so it's something you do over time. When you're out there, instead of chasing a bunch of different things, you can chase the timing of your vehicle. And when you take apart a shock, it's not magic. It's a shaft, a piston,
A shaft.
and he loves anything that involves penis. Anyways, so then there's some shims, a jet, and it's all controlling. Really, it's the things that go into building an engine. Now that's totally different. I mean, you got to be you got to read some books and shit.
You got to know a lot of mini math.
Yeah, that's right. But with a shock, I like it because the reason I took a part of that is I used to, have a bad night, go to my shock guy. I don't know what the hell I was talking about. Talk to him. He's trying to guess how I feel about me. You know what I mean? And some people have a hard time explaining how they're feeling because you're racing. It's you try to talk to your crew chief right after the race and you can't get it out. Sometimes you sleep on it the next day and you're like, oh, well, it wasn't that bad. It was this or that.
Right.
But shocks are something that I can come in. I take my shocks off all throughout the night. And it doesn't bother me because I've taken the time to learn about it. And I can control how I feel. But the people who don't know about it, they see me take my shocks off and they lose their mind like I'm going to lose my whole race car. And
Okay, well, let me ask you this. Okay, so you're obviously you're referring to asphalt sprint cars.
Asphalt, dirt, whatever.
Okay, but let me ask you this. You've worked for Bloomer. You've worked for Scott Bloomquist, right?
Yeah.
Building shocks.
That's right.
Okay, so when you work for Bloomquist, if he come in and said, I don't care, nothing else. If he came in and said, it's tight, do you immediately go to shocks or do you start moving a bar to one of the 8,000 damn holes that they got on?
No, Scott knew exactly what he wanted. That's a totally different subject.
But, okay, so
Scott would come in and say, I need more rebound on the right front.
Okay, so he's a veteran.
And that's why I was a good shot guy for him because I didn't know shit.
Okay.
Still don't know shit about a dirt late model, but I know how to put more rebound in a shock.
Okay, so maybe that wasn't the best example, but let's just say a dirt late model. We'll leave the driver out of it.
Yeah. I mean, how do you dictate that that's the one change?
I mean, there's 50, 60, 70 holes of adjustment. What dictates you changing a shock versus moving a bar one hole?
Yeah, okay. So
how do you dictate, how do you know that it's a shock and not the rear end or whatever?
I mean, why is the sky blue? Why are boobs cool? Like nobody
knows. Why
knows.
is a posi track ran on a Plymouth work?
Right. Man, we're 3 shows deep, and that's the second time we've used that. So,
hey, shout out Joe Deerte, man.
No, but what I'm saying is like, it's no way to tell that that's one thing. I mean, on even something minimal like a pavement sprint car where there's only a few things you can change: ride height, weight, spring, panhard bar. I mean, there's not a whole lot to change. How do you know it's the shock and not the spring? It's a feel thing, and that's why I think it's like important to learn about it. Whether you build them or not is like, it's a timing deal, and it's getting the load to where you want it when you want it. I have no idea to tell anyone like when they're feeling what. That's why it's so important, is even if you don't know what you're feeling, but if you go and make an adjustment, or even if you can't build a shock and you go out and practice, well, run a practice with the right front closed off and then come in and run it with it full soft. And you'll be able to tell real quick, okay, that's the change it made. So it's just like, well, how do you know to change the bars on a late model up or down when it's going slick? Well, you went out there one time with it up. You went out there one time with it down. And you were like, well, shit, I like it. I feel like this. So it's just like anything else. But for some reason, because they are sealed and you can't see inside them, people lose their mind. They can't, like inside there must be NASA.
Yeah.
It's not that. It's so.
Now let me ask you this.
It's so simple.
How do you feel about stock shock classes?
I hate that.
Why? Because you're a shock guy? Because you're
No,
TDC shocks?
No, I mean plug, but no, I hate it because there's no way to police that, and I know like we touched on when we started talking about this, the 600 Racin thing, and how they try to dictate what's a legal sealed Bilstein and what's not, and
for those that don't know, 600 Racing is the sanctioning body for the Legends cars.
Well, I can't tell you how many times I built a shock for a guy around here at East Bay or something that they can't have adjustable shocks. But it's like, the only thing that makes a shock adjustable in some cases is what type of eyelet you put on it, because you could pop the eyelet off and readjust it. So it just, it's silly. It's just like, that's like making a stock shock to me is like making a stock air pressure rule.
I'm gonna wrap myself out here, but in the Thunderstock deal at East Bay, they said you got to run non-adjustables,
right? Because they think that's saving money, but really what happens is then the guys end up buying 10 sets of non-adjustables to have different stuff when you can have one set that you can adjust from a 2 to an 8. But instead, you got to have a 2, an 8, a 3, a 4, 5, because you don't know.
See, what we did, we just bought the Pro Shock. Everybody was running Pro Shocks or the Bilsteins. So
Pro Shocks are whoopee cushions.
So we just went and bought the Pro Shocks that you push them down and you turn them and they got 3 clicks. They got low. So that's what we did.
Yeah, I mean
our shit was cheated up. I don't care. Take my wins away. Motorstats.com.
But it's not even. You won?
Yeah, with those shocks.
I'm kidding with you. But no, but it's no different. I mean,
we can't all win 8,000 million sprint car races
no.
Troy DeCaire.
Notice I didn't say that. He said that. So
that's how everybody felt on Saturday.
It doesn't matter.
When you finished second.
Yeah,
hang on.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
there's your trophy.
Unfortunately, my season average finish dropped to 1.2. So we will rebuild.
I'm real proud of you for that math.
Well, it's not hard. But anyways, shocks is a topic like that tire dope deal. Like, you can go on and on. But the reason I feel like you're better off investing your time in learning how suspension works versus something stupid like tire dope is it doesn't matter what vehicle, it doesn't matter what tire. You could be running Hoosiers at one series, an American Racer at another. The shocks are still a timing deal. They're still, when something gets here, like when it sets, when it releases, it's something that can help you across the mini stock, late model, sprint car, whatever you want to run. But tire dope is
shit. So you say that any stock shock class, like Legends cars, like the Florida late model series, the crate series, I'm pretty sure is a stock shock. So you're saying that's a waste of time?
I feel like anytime you make a rule, it becomes more expensive to get around it.
Okay, so it should just be open.
It should be. Think about this.
But then that opens it up to open pocketbooks.
It doesn't open pocketbooks. You want to know why?
Why?
I can name the three marquee events in open wheel racing: the Little 500, the Chili Bowl, the Knoxville Nationals. Okay. The 3 things they have in common: no rules.
Right.
You want to know the other 3 things they have in common? Biggest car counts. And that's because you can build something and you may not have enough money, but if you want to chop this, cut that, do that, like whatever, and manipulate it to your budget to be fast. But when you the slower you make something go, when you put a crate motor, then you're like, oh, well, he's paying somebody to reseal it. Same thing with shot, like you do this, do that. But the slower you make something by putting a stock part on it, it increases everything else. Like every rule in a rule book adds $5,000 in my opinion, because now what? If you have stock this, stock that, whatever, then you got the guys going, now they're buying titanium, unless that's a rule, and they're getting their weight low. You have guys buying ceramic bearings. You have guys like doing everything they can to make everything else better. So if those rules aren't in place, people aren't spending money to get around them. Right. Because there's guys that show up at Little 500 with cars that look like you should not be driving them, and they're fast. There's guys that show up at Chili Bowl with some piles of shit and are fast. Like, Knoxville's a little different case because it involves motor, but like I feel like rules cost money, and and the slower you make something go, the more money you got to spend to speed it up. Like I said, ceramic bearings, yada yada yada, lightweight parts, everything else.
Right. Well, so that's our
shit off the table.
Why?
I don't like it.
You don't like it that you ran second?
No, I'm not good. I'm not a good sport, and I never will be. And anybody who is happy with second, don't even talk to me. I don't like you or your dog.
What about the guy that runs street stocks?
Hey, I seen people on Facebook going at street stock guy.
I seen that.
I don't give a shit what you run.
Who was going at the street stock guy?
Oh, I better not. I'm gonna get my ass whipped.
Oh, that's right. You better not say it on your little podcast.
Oh yeah. Well, it rhymes with Ace and Ennolds. How about that? Anyways, street stocks. Like, I don't care how much money you got. You build a street stock. Sammy Coghill's gonna whip that ass.
You told me. You said last show, if you were the guy that's lacking that motor, that's lacking this, that's lacking that, be a pain in those guys' ass. So if that guy's a 6th place car and he runs second and he's happy, you don't like him. But
no, he's not happy. You should be happy with progress, but don't get out and celebrate. You figure out how to make it better. But I'm saying if you can only afford a 6th place race car, do everything you can to make it a 3rd place race car, because it could put you in a position to get on one of those teams that outdollar or do whatever. Because like I said, I feel that anyone talks about us outdollaring people right now, I get offended, because if they know where I started or where I came from or the cars that I had to run to get there, that was never the case. But if you try to take a 6th place car and wreck every week trying to make it a 1st place race car, you will never get that chance. But if you could take your program and not race above yourself and race the guy in front of you, and if you're in 6th, figure out how to get to 5th. Don't even worry about 4th. You got to get to 5th. There's people who are bitching about the guy winning, and they run 6th. It's like, in my mind, you got 4 other guys you got to worry about before you start bitching about the leader. You know what I mean? Like, who cares what the leader's doing? Yeah. If he's cheating, if he's out dollaring, if he's got this, what are you going to do to get to 4th? Yeah. All right, so he's gone. We'll take that high dollar everything out. What are you going to do about those other 3 assholes? You better shut up, and you better go into garage. Get off Facebook and get in the garage. That's how I feel.
But I'm not going to go there.
Say it. Say it with your chest.
What if you set fast time?
What's that pay? They put money on fast time. You'll see me setting some. Hey, and I don't care. You know what? And I'm not taking fast time's important.
It is.
It's cool. I mean, Danica got a pole. I'm sure that was great. But Dylan Reynolds was fast Saturday night. So let's be clear about that. That boy was fast, and I think he would have won the race had things worked out a little differently.
Right.
I wasn't good enough to win that race. Period. The end. So I don't want to harp on that whole subject because it hurts my feelings.
Right.
And I don't want to get sensitive right now.
But yeah, shout out to Dylan, man. He was
no,
up
the kid
on the
was wheeling.
He was up on the wheel.
I mean, just saying. But there's like things that pile on that deflect people from the goal. Is quit worrying about what he said, what she said, what this said. Like, go home. Like right now, my guys went home. They want to talk. Like, we're gonna go. We're gonna load our car, and I got to figure out what I need to do. I was a little tight from the center off. I mean, obviously, if John noticed it, you could see that. So worry about what you need to do to make your stuff better. And if you don't have enough money to fix that, then you have to do it by logging hours, and that's free. I mean, just got to give up a little bit of sleep here and there. You got to do this. I mean, it doesn't effort to me doesn't cost money.
Right. And I'm with you on that. All right. Well, we're going to wrap this thing up. We went a little long here, but we got fired up. We like racing.
We was worried we didn't have nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean. So hopefully you guys out there can like the page, add some stuff.
Let me tell you something. If you go
give
to
us
our
some
page,
topics. We're running out of shit to say.
Yeah, I mean, we got John on here. All right, and then John hung out for 30 minutes trying to get us to figure out what the hell we're going to talk about. And I was like, whatever, we're just going to sit down. We're going to
he's the first one who got first class experience that we don't know. I mean, I know that we've got a lot of people are like, hey man, that show's pretty cool, blah, blah, blah. Like,
we had people wanting to meet us at the race.
Well, it was a real joke the fact that if you guys knew what went into this, but it's fun. But that's what bench racing is to me. Like we just sit here, we talk about it, and I'm passionate, you're passionate, John's passionate, everything. Like, and at the racetrack, I didn't have a lot to say to him. We could sit here and talk it out, hash it out, do whatever. I mean, go to Waffle House, maybe do some stuff like that.
A little scatter, smother, covered.
But that's what this shows. This shows about racing, people who give a shit about racing, and tempers, emotion, even a little bit of social media. All that stuff plays into why everyone loves it. Because if it was easy, everyone would do it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it took us a while to get to do it because we still have no clue what we're doing. Like you said.
No.
I mean, look at this thing. I pressed that button and I pressed that button, and y'all accidentally.
I'm letting you guys know right now. This is it's
fake it till you make it.
It's Monday. It's gonna be good Wednesday before you get this on the air, so we're good.
You want to edit it?
No, I don't edit it.
All right, well, we're gonna get out of here. We're obviously we appreciate y'all listening. Shout out to the winners this weekend, Mr. One Steven Classy, Nasty, whatever they call him these days.
I need him to ruffle some feathers so we can get him on here.
Our buddy Steven Nasty won the COVID 119 at Showtime.
Yoho ran 37th.
Yeah, Yoho ran 37th and put Jamie King in the wall. If I was Jamie King, I would have yard sailed his shit.
Okay.
I'm telling you right now, his shit would have been in the fence, and he'd have been peeling out of that Trump 2020 fire suit. But anyways, so we're going to jump off here. We appreciate Raging Bull Racing Engines and Yates Motorsports coming on board, sponsoring this show. We're always looking for more sponsors because we are running very low on beer, and I think Troy is out of mixers. So we're going to jump off here, and we're going to try to get a bounty up because John Inman and Troy DeCaire are going to start 11th and 12th at the next BG Southern Sprint Car Shootout Series race. Damn, I hit that on the head. Sorry you can't do that, Yoho. And we're going to see who wins. We're going to get a little bounty together. So we appreciate y'all listening. We'll see you next time. I'm not going to cut nothing out.